Welcome to Gentle Anchor, a podcast hosted by mom and son, Michele and Noah. No topic too tender. We talk with honesty, curiosity, and zero taboo.
Hey, what's up, Drift Mates? Thank you for coming back to us with another episode of Gentle Anchor Podcast. And Noah's back! Yay! We're so excited that you could join us today. We have a good episode in for you, so we're going to get started. I'm Michele.
And I'm Noah.
The topic is why we don't use the word disappointment in our family and why I chose to not use that when raising the kids. This was kind of Noah's idea, and I was super excited that he brought it to me because I think it's super important. So, yeah, that's kind of what we're going to do a little bit of today. So, do you want to do the socials first or the drift check, Noah?
I can do socials.
Okay, then.
Also, I think right here you need to add that, like, for our YouTube, you need to add the subscribe button so they can click on it.
I don't know how to do that, but I will figure it out.
Okay, yeah, because I think because it'd be fun if like you go, click the subscribe, and then you click right here.
Okay.
I'll help you.
Okay.
Anyways, so socials, we have the YouTube, as I was just saying, Gentle Anchor Podcast. When you subscribe to that, it's not paid promotion or anything like that. We're free, so just to clear that confusion, if anybody's still confused by that. I know a few weeks ago we had some people asking questions about that. So it is
Right.
free. Hit that subscribe button. She's going to insert it right here. And then the Instagram, TikTok, and Facebook are all Gentle Anchor Podcast. Go like all those. Give us some comments. We really appreciate you guys. Best drift mates around. So she told me I'm supposed to incorporate that word more. So anything? Oh, and then the Spotify and the Apple Podcasts.
Yes.
We appreciate you guys.
Go ahead. Is that it? Do you want to hear something really cool?
That's cool.
So the other day I was talking to somebody. It was Tabby's boyfriend, and we were talking about something, and he was saying, I said, I need to do something for the podcast, but I need to make sure that it's SEO friendly. And he's like, well, because when you post things on...
What does SEO mean?
It's I don't really know what
like the encryption thing?
Something like, or whatever it is, to make sure that like it's popping up in the algorithms. So like I use specific hashtags and titles and things like that are SEO friendly when I'm posting stuff. Anyway, and he was like, well, are you SEO friendly on Google? And I was like, well, how do I know that? And he was like, well, let's find out. So he Googles Gentle Anchor Podcast, and like we dominated the first like 15 searches when you do Gentle Anchor Podcast.
Really?
Yeah.
Huh.
So, I had no idea, but we show up on iHeartRadio.
We show up on iHeartRadio?
Yeah.
So what, you're saying that we're like getting listens, or?
I mean, people must be searching it if we're there. Because typically if you're not getting enough searches or people aren't seeing your stuff enough, you don't show up.
So what did he say about
guys.
that?
What?
So what did he say about that?
He was like, I'm really impressed. That's very cool. And I was like, that's awesome. So yeah,
that's a shout out to you guys. So
that's a shout out.
Keep those numbers bumping up. We appreciate you all very much. So
exactly. So thanks, guys.
And again, guys, I just want to make some prefaces with, we're not trying to do this to get views or to get like people to, like those numbers to increase. Like that's not the importance of it. Is it pretty cool? Sure. But that's not the importance of this podcast. We're trying to promote something, and we're just trying to make a difference in everybody's lives and maybe share something that has resonated with us in our past and our relationship that you might be able to take, especially for young moms or dads with their kids, and just kind of maybe just eliminate that taboo. Nothing is too weird to talk about. So
no, and we are not professionals. We just give our
we just try to be honest.
Yeah, about what we have. So let's slide into that drift track.
Do you still add that music in there?
I always do. Yeah.
Okay, I listened the other day and I was like, oh, I liked that.
So Noah, I have not. I mean, I've obviously talked to you, but we haven't been on screen together for a couple weeks. So.
See, that's the thing. I feel like we like talked, but I don't think that we've like really chatted in a while, to be honest. Like I've been really busy, I feel like. So I feel like we've just kind of had like shorter phone calls and stuff, just like quick check-ins about something or I have questions, but I don't think that we've really chatted in a while. So
no, it's nice to see your cute little face. So how are you doing, babe?
I'm really good.
Good.
I just had a fantastic Thanksgiving break. Went to my girlfriend's house and her family. That was a really good getaway. I have a really too busy week and a half that's busy coming up.
Yeah.
It's the end of the semester for me, so I have a lot going on this week actually. I have my first track meet at the end of the week, so that'll
Nice.
be cool to experience.
Fun.
No, but I've been really good and
Good.
yeah, just been hanging out with all the friends and the girlfriend and
Good.
um doing all our practicals and homework and all my stuff that I have to get done.
Nice.
Yeah, I think I have like 2 papers, 2 practicals, a meet, and then um like 3 exams between the next week and a half. So
Wow.
I shall be busy with studying and clinical and
Good.
whatnot, but then I
Nice.
get to see you in 2 weeks. So
I know. I'm so excited.
and also guys, like I haven't seen my family since the beginning of June. So
June. Yeah, it's been a while.
it's been a while. So
It'll be
I'm
nice
excited
when
to see
Noah
them.
comes home. Yeah,
Yeah.
and we'll tell you more about what's going on for our Christmas plans next week.
hmm
So, um, yeah, good. Sounds like you're moving through the semester and be grateful it's
I'm
almost done.
Yes, I'm glad it's almost done. Doesn't mean that I really get that much of a break when I come home. I still have
Right.
to bring my textbooks and be studying and
Yeah.
stuff, but it will
Yeah.
be nice to just not have to have so much pressure as to like needing to get stuff done. How are you? What are we doing? Did you
Forgot.
forget to?
Might have forgot my microphone. Fine.
Oh, it sounds better now. So,
Oh, good.
how are you doing?
I'm good. I have been like you. It's been kind of hectic around here. I had to do a lot of stuff for school, and it's nearing the end of the semester, so I've got to get papers graded and all the grades in and stuff. It's been kind of hectic that way. We had a nice Thanksgiving too. We went to your dad's aunt's house, like we always do every year. We did that on Thanksgiving Day. Had a nice time visiting with family. But then yesterday we got the Christmas tree, like we always do on the Saturday after Thanksgiving. And then I cooked Thanksgiving dinner for us here at home,
Oh
which
dear.
we do because we have what is one of our favorite things to eat, hands down across the board in our family, is Thanksgiving casserole, right? And so Noah hasn't had Thanksgiving casserole in years, but Thanksgiving casserole is all the leftovers. We cook all of our meals, our dishes, the turkey and all the side dishes, and then I put all of that stuff after we've eaten dinner into a casserole, and I build kind of like a shepherd's pie, and it has all of the foods in it. And actually, everybody loves that more than we love the turkey dinner.
I think that's the
That's what
whole reason that we cook Thanksgiving
it
dinner is
is.
just for that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And so that's
I
what we had for dinner tonight.
Yeah, I was telling my girlfriend about that. She's like, "What is that?" And so, I was explaining to her. It's just maybe we need to go to your house one year for Thanksgiving in the near
It's
future.
so
It's so good. But she's like, "I would love to have Thanksgiving with your family." I'm like, "Would you?
Would you? No, yeah, she
Would
should.
you?"
Tabby's boyfriend got to have dinner with us last night. Yeah, last night. So that was fun.
So he hasn't
So
had that. He has casserole though.
he didn't get to have the casserole, but he did enjoy
Is
dinner.
he
So that
gonna
was
get
nice.
to?
Probably not. So
Poor
that's
guy.
okay. Yeah. So
I'm thinking of you,
anyway,
fam. I know you listen, so I'm thinking of you.
so yeah,
But
that's been how it's been around here. So thanks, Noah. Thanks for checking.
yeah,
So, okay. So we are going to get into this episode. And like I said, it's about why we don't, I've never said, and I never will say to Tabby and Noah, I'm disappointed in you. And there's reasons for
let's
that.
back it up real quick.
Okay. Sure.
What is disappointment in your eyes?
I think disappointment to me is that, like, I feel like it's it's like a dirty word.
And that's a lot coming from you.
Yeah, and I don't mean that in like fuck. Like I'll say a
Yeah.
curse word any day of the week, right?
Right.
I just feel like it's like a dirty word. It's like one of those words that you can say to
It's
a child
unsettling.
that is so unsettling, demoralizing. It takes their worth away. It doesn't give them any value. And when you're
Okay.
talking to kids and wanting to parent them, we're hoping to make them better, not drag them down, right? And
Right.
so to me, that word disappointment, I've always said there is nothing that you could do that is ever going to disappoint me to the point that I am not going to love you, right?
Right.
And so that word just feels like unloved to me.
Okay.
Does that make sense?
Yeah. So
Okay.
in that context, then, with what you were saying along the lines of you chose to never say I'm disappointed in you because there's nothing that we could have ever done that would cause disappointment. Is that what you were getting at?
That's exactly right,
They
yes.
can never cause that much that unsettling feeling with you that that causes you to have that feeling.
Y-
Is that how I'm
Yes.
explaining that well, right?
Yeah.
I make sure I understand that. And I think that a lot of the times with that is that disappointment, from how you've explained it to me, is that it's a word you can't take back. It's if you are so unsettled with what your child has done or their actions that they may have, their choices, whatever it might be that they may have done that has caused you to then say, if you're looking and say, no, I'm disappointed in you, I would have then had to have done something big or small, whatever it might have been that you chose to use that word, that then you will forever be disappointed in me. You will forever
Right.
be upset at this choice that I made, that there's no forgiveness taking that could be given, right? You
That's right.
might, and at least how you've explained it to me,
Yes.
I feel that that is a great way to think about that. I have heard a counter argument along the lines of, I can forgive you and you can forgive yourself, but that doesn't change the choice that you made. Right. And so a lot of people, I think that a lot of people misconstrue disappointment, or they choose disappointment and as a word that can be replaced. They're
Yeah.
replacing it with upset or mad, frustrated, as in
And I
instead
d-
of saying, what?
and I don't. Yeah, I don't agree with that.
Right. I don't agree with that either based off of how I was raised, right?
Yeah.
So something that we never talked about. But from what I've learned and what I've heard from other people my
Okay.
age and their families is that they use disappointment in the context of, I'm upset with you, I'm mad at you. But they don't view it in the context that we view it as, it's that, like, it's
Okay.
the word that you don't say, right?
Okay. Yeah. Um. Like I said, that didn't come to me from something that I ever read or heard other people say. It was just something that didn't feel right. It felt unsettling to me. In preparation for this episode, I did do some research, and one of the psychologists, I think he's a psychologist, and he's an author, speaker, does parenting education, whatever, and his name is Alfie Kahn, and he talks about disappointment, and how he explains it is that, and I'm just paraphrasing here basically of what I read, but that basically the word disappointment is a conditional clause. So, yeah. And so that means that there's some kind of context or content behind it. So for me, my love for you is always unconditional. And that's how I want it to be portrayed. And so if disappointment, the word disappointment is conditional, that is the opposite of what I want to portray for you.
Right.
So, and when he says disappointment in that it is that conditional thing, he's talking about it. I want to try to find I don't remember if I put it in here or whatever, but he just talked about it so well about, like, and it so resonated with me as far as him saying it was conditional thing. And I was like, oh, like, because conditional love means that there's something behind it. So I'll love you if you do well in school. I'll love you if you act right in public, or I'll love you if you say please and thank you. For me, it was always, I'll love you no matter what. Like
Right.
I love you if you're black, blue, purple, green. I'll love you if you say fuck all day long. I'll love you, if you're tall, short, whatever. There was never anything that you could do, say, or that could happen that was going to make me unlove you.
And I think that a lot of it with that is that it's the verbiage of like how you parented. You may have not said, I'm disappointed in you, but that's not to say you didn't say, I'm upset with you, I'm frustrated at you, I'm angry at you, I'm
Yeah.
saddened by you. That's not to say that you didn't use those words, because those
Right.
are valid emotions. Those are all things that you feel,
Yes.
that you can conceptualize for us and make us understand why you feel that way.
Yep.
Disappointment for you was never something that came across because, as you said, it's that conditional factor that then
Yeah.
said, "Oh, you made that choice. Well, I'm not gonna love you at this moment because of how you just acted." But that never resonated well with you. Right? It was, yeah, I'm not happy that you just chose to do that. I don't agree with what you did, but that doesn't mean I don't love you. I'm not taking away the fact that you are who you are and you make mistakes. I still love you for that, but maybe next time let's look at it from this perspective.
Yeah.
And then you proceeded to parent in a way that was more open communication,
Healthy.
and it was healthy. It was, okay, think about what you did. Tell me your perspective of it. I'm going to tell
Yep.
you my perspective of it. And then let's talk about it. Let me teach you as to why what you did was wrong.
Yep. And
And that
so,
was really beneficial for me because I have then learned that I might not make the best choices all the time. I'm human, I make mistakes, but I'm able to talk to you about my mistakes and not feel like you're then going to be frustrated with me, or again, that all these kids say, I'm afraid to disappoint my parents.
yeah,
I'm never afraid that I can do that.
yeah,
I mean, unless it's my own personal reasons as to why I might feel that way. But
yeah,
then if you and I talk about it, you go, you always say to me, am I going to be disappointed in you for this? Well, no. Okay, so talk to me. Like
yeah,
let's have that open conversation.
yeah. Yeah, and so that's one of the things that Alfie Kohn says, and so he talks about disappointment, and this is how he says it. He says, "Disappointment evaluates the child, but healthy feedback evaluates the behavior."
Okay.
When we are disciplining children, adults, whoever we're disciplining, whatever we're doing, young adults, teens, blah, 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 when we're disciplining them, we don't want to attack or nitpick at the child
Or
themselves.
like invalidate them.
Yes, we want to be able to correct the behavior.
Yeah, you want to like dissect it and break it apart and like
Yes,
understand it. Yeah.
exactly. And so in those instances, when you would say, well, I don't want you to be disappointed in me, actually would make me cry because I would always get upset and be like, there is absolutely nothing you can do that is going to disappoint me, make me unlove you. And we would talk about this. I would, of course, say, if you made a bad choice. And I really, I was thinking about this episode and I was like, I don't even know that there's any points that you guys upset me so badly that I even thought about using that word. But we just would talk about healthy things. Like if you ever felt that way, and you have said that to me a couple of times, I don't want you to be disappointed in me, Mom. And
Yeah.
I would say, well, okay, but I could never be that. So let's talk about it. And I think the thing of that is trust. And so we've built this trust okay, you are safe to come to me with anything. And
Right.
when you say that disappointed word, it breaks that because you're attacking the child, and the child says, "Oh, you're disappointed in me? Now I don't want to trust you with anything I have. So I'm not going to tell you anything. That doesn't make
Right.
me feel good." And that was what I was afraid of. Those were the
Right.
things I was afraid of. We were
Yeah.
always I always said to you, you can come to me with anything. And if I ever said I'm disappointed in you, I was afraid that was going to take that away. Does that make
Right.
sense?
Yeah. 100%.
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
I actually think it's kind of funny because I was having a conversation. And this is a little bit off topic, but just like
That's
kind
okay.
of in reference to this episode. I was having this conversation with my girlfriend the other day, and I was like, "There's actually something that I need to talk to my mom and dad about that I'm like that I haven't really talked to them about yet." And she's like, "Oh, really?" And I was like, "Yeah." And I was like, "Just why haven't you told them about like all that yet?" And I was like, "Oh, I'm low key kind of afraid that they're gonna say they're disappointed in in me for that." And she's like, you, the person who tells me that disappointment isn't a thing, think that your parents are going to be disappointed in you for your career path that you then want to talk to them about. And I was like, I mean, yeah. And she's like, well, that sounds a little or
Contradictory.
contradictory. And I was like, yeah, you're right. I was like, snap out of it. And sometimes I get caught up in that concept of disappointment in myself a little bit
Yeah.
in this context as a wannabe athletic trainer, just like choosing my career path.
Yeah.
um is like I'm still pursuing what I want to pursue, what the path that I end up taking and what field I work in isn't gonna change how much you guys love me and all that
Yeah.
things. And so a lot of it was that, for our listeners out there, and then this is the first time I'm actually telling her this story, so this but it kind of goes along with it, um, is that I am kind of unsure. I've always wanted to work in the NFL, but with my current clinical rotations, I'm having a lot of fun and doing other things. And
Yeah.
so a lot of it right now is the uncertainty of if the
Right.
NFL is if the NFL is where I want to end up. And
Right.
so I think, but this big thing is that we've always told them that I want to work in the NFL, but I was telling my girlfriend that, and I was like, maybe I don't want to work in the NFL, and what if my parents are disappointed me for that? Because that was the whole big concept. Oh,
Yeah. Yeah.
but
No.
yeah,
That
it's
I
a little
mean,
sidebar, but
yeah,
it
but that's
kind of
okay.
fit into this.
It does because and I'm going to tell you a story. I mean, whatever you choose, I'm going to be so happy for you.
Right.
It
And
doesn't
I
even
know
matter.
that
Yeah.
too.
Yeah. But I understand that creeping in. But one of the conversations, I had a conversation once with Tabby. So Tabby was, I don't remember what grade it was, where it was, or whatever in her timeline, but she was deciding what she wanted to do. And Tabby always wanted to go into the medical field. At one point, she wanted to be a pediatrician. And somewhere in between there, she decided that she didn't want to be a pediatrician and she might want to be a PA, a physician's assistant. And I remember having that conversation with her, and she was like, because going from being a doctor to a physician assistant is very different. The
Right.
pay grade is different. The path is different. It's not going to medical school. It's just going to college and getting your master's degree. And so I remember her saying, being very timid about telling me, like, I think I want to do this. And I was like, okay, why are you crying, or why are you upset? And she was like, I don't want you to be disappointed in me for changing my mind. And
Right.
I was like, Tabby, like, I'm not the one that has to live this life. Like,
Yeah,
you're
so
living
true.
your life. Yeah.
Right.
That's not my life to live. It's yours. Am I caught off guard? Sure. Like, absolutely.
Like, has this been the thing that we've talked about for however many years? Yes, of course.
Yes.
But that
But
doesn't mean that you were ever going to be like upset
yeah,
about
like,
it, you know?
no. And so she, she cried about it a little because she was like, I can't even believe I kind of thought that way. But I did. And thank you for not making me feel badly about it. And so I've always thought about that. And that's the one conversation that I always remember with her. You could never, I mean, and you and I have talked about it more extensively, but
Right.
yeah. So thanks for sharing yours.
Oh, of course. Yeah, it was actually just really funny because she was like, you always tell me that you don't believe in disappointment. So how are you
Yeah.
now saying that you're afraid of your family disappointing you?
Yeah.
I said, I don't know. I think it's just like that initial fear factor of just it's been the topic of conversation for so long that
Yeah.
how are they gonna react?
Yeah.
You know? And
We're going
I
to
think
say,
that what are you gonna say?
do whatever you want.
Do what makes you happy?
I don't give a shit. Just finish your degree.
Hey, I'm almost a semester and a half done, so
I know. I really don't. I just want you to be the best you could possibly be. So, anyway, so yeah. So where do you want to go next with that?
but yeah, I think that overall I kinda wanna talk about um what you mentioned earlier about why the kid or the child or the teenager might avoid having conversations if they feel that they're going to disappoint their parent.
Yeah. So,
Does that make sense?
do you have a question in particular, or do you just want me to kind of talk about what I think about that?
I guess something along the lines of if you could just kind of either talk or maybe a question will come along, but just do you think that in your experience, like with other families from that we've grown up with, or like maybe some other kids that don't have the best relationship with their parents,
Yeah.
have they ever necessarily like maybe told you that they're afraid to disappoint their parents and like how they might react based off like that or their
Why that is?
decisions might change or why that's come up?
Yeah.
I mean, there's specific one thing that I can think of in our past that I know of, but I'm not gonna obviously talk about it because it's not really my story to share. But
Yeah.
maybe you're along the same lines as me with the what is it, telepathy?
Telepathy. I am
Telepathy.
not. I don't know
Oh,
what
that's
you're
fair.
talking about, but that's okay.
That's fair. I just don't want
What?
to share their story because it's
No, of
not.
course not. You don't want to do
Yeah.
that.
No.
I do. I feel like you have probably heard more about, kids or young adults or whatever, teens feeling disappointed, like worrying about disappointing their parent.
Yeah.
I think that one of the things probably in one of the areas that could have come up for you and I was in the baseball world, playing
Mm.
baseball, and a lot of your teammates that you've ever gone through baseball with that might have felt that way. I've not personally heard parents say that, but I can see that having been a field where kids might have felt like they were going to disappoint their parents, even in athletics in general.
Yeah.
And so I feel like the thing that happens when we talk about disappointment, and like you said, when a child is worried about disappointing their parent, it's because there has been some trauma in the past. And that's just my kind of what I've seen. If they have some kind of, they're worried about, oh my gosh, if I'm going to disappoint my parents. Like, I don't want to feel that way, but it's because they've had some kind of trauma in the past where their parent didn't make them feel secure in the relationship.
Right.
And so that's what I was saying about that, was that like saying that you're disappointed in a child can make them feel unworthy, unloved, or that that they're not trusted in this situation. And those things are really hard, especially if you say them to a child at a young age. They're very hard to come back to from. How do you build that trust after a child has been told, I'm disappointed in you? Even when I say it, it makes it like it's dirty. It's just dirty.
So, okay. I guess then with that though is if that's something that maybe the older generations might use because that's, we
Maybe.
talk about it this way is that your parents teach you one thing and you obviously try to do better than they do, but nobody's perfect. Not all parents parent the same. All these things. So if we go down the generations and maybe we are progressively getting better as a generation,
Yeah.
especially when it comes to our kids. If we're trying to eliminate these negative connotations behind words, what can we then do how would you give advice to maybe me and Tabby with our kids about ways to parent them that might not feel the same as other people might have felt, or, different verbiage that we can use to
Yeah. And I just want
transition
to,
from these negative connotations?
yeah. When I do want to get, will tell you that, but I just want to get back to it. So one of the other things that I was reading was, and this is kind of important, is that when you're talking about the word disappointment, if a person says, I'm disappointed in you, it kind of makes the child feel like they are the mistake, not that they made a mistake.
Or
Because,
action, but the
yeah,
individual.
again, it like that they're the problem. And so
Mm,
it creates an emotional barrier to like how they handle things, and it attacks their emotional state. So then they are unable to have healthy relationships because of it.
huh.
And that's the thing about it, is just trying to figure out how to have a healthy relationship. So what you're talking about, instead of saying, I'm disappointed in you, which literally attacks the person, I am disappointed in you. It's more of, you got a bad grade on a test. I feel like I would say, oh, you got a bad grade. Oh, well, did you try your hardest? Did you put all the effort into it? And if you say yes, then I can say, okay, well, I'm proud of you for doing the best that you could. Next time, let's study a little bit harder. I'll help you. We'll work harder to study more,
What
right?
resources are available to you?
Yep.
I feel like
And
I
if
get
you,
that one a lot.
yeah. And if you say, no, I didn't put any, then I'm going to say, well, don't you think you should have? Like, I mean, those aren't my grades. I don't
No,
care. They're not my grades. I mean, I want you to pass school and I want you to get through it, but you're the one that has to put the effort in order to make that happen.
right.
That's kind of how that would go to me, because I'm not going to say, oh my gosh, I'm disappointed in you that you didn't get a fucking A, Noah. I
Right.
always say, what? Try again.
Yeah. But what did you do? How did you do?
Yeah.
How did you study for this?
Yeah.
Could you have done more?
Yeah.
Are you doing
Exactly.
everything that you can do to do your best? And are you
Yeah.
doing your best?
Yeah. And I think that, that's a very small thing that somebody could say they were disappointed in. I feel like a lot of times the things that parents can say, I'm disappointed in you, are a little bit more weighty. Like,
Like weighted?
yeah, weighted. Yeah.
Okay.
Like, I went to a party and I smoked with my friends. Well, then, a parent saying, well, I'm disappointed in you for doing that. Like, that was a bad choice. Like,
Yeah.
I'm disappointed that you would make that choice. Like, I'm just disappointed in you for doing that. I would never say that. I would say, if you came to me and said, Mom, and you're not an adult yet, if
Yeah.
you're a teenager or young adult or
If I was
whatever.
in high school or something like that, yeah.
Yep. And you had
Obviously,
said,
if
hey,
I
I
was
went,
still living at home, under stuff
yeah.
like that, yeah.
Yeah. And you had gone to a party and you came home and said, Mom, or I had found out, not even if you told me. And I
Yeah.
would say, hey, I found out this happened. Let's talk about it. Like, what made you choose to do that? And let's have a conversation about it, rather than saying, I'm disappointed in you for choosing that, Noah. Like, how does that make
So,
you feel? If you think about like me saying that, like, and this is really good. Like, when I say that to you, even not even meaning it, how does that make you feel?
I mean, I feel slightly attacked
Okay.
and like that I made a huge mistake, that it might be like my parents are like you in my mind. If I hear that, it's that you will never forgive me for my actions.
Right.
Like I don't know, maybe that's just how I was raised. Like maybe that's the way that you intended that to be like heard on my end or understood.
Yeah.
But personally, that's just kind of my opinion about when somebody says that. And that's why
Yeah.
I'll never say I'm disappointed in myself,
No.
because then I'm just attacking myself and the effort and the decisions I made. It's, yeah, I'm upset with myself and I'm imperfect and I wish I didn't do this or that, but how can I be disappointed in myself when I'm human? I'm
Yeah.
going to make mistakes. I'm going to fail. And I mean, one of the things that we learn is that the greatest amount of success comes with a lot of failure. You
Yeah.
can't succeed before you fail. So these
No.
mistakes that we're making,
The
there's no
path
reason
to
to
where
be
you need to get.
there's no reason to be disappointed, right? And that's
Right.
the whole concept we talk about, and maybe we can talk about this in another episode. Is the concept of regret.
Yeah.
But like we always talk about why do we regret something? The two things that I think that she taught me to believe in was a lot of things, but that like in reference to these conversations is we don't believe in disappointment and we don't believe in regrets. And a lot of it is those decisions that we make, there's no reason to be disappointed in them because they're leading you where you want to go. Those mistakes, there's no point to regret them because if you didn't make that, maybe you aren't who you become.
That's
Maybe you're
right.
not on the path that you're supposed to be. Again, you're not going to be perfect. You're not going to make the best choices.
No,
Nobody does.
no.
If you can look me in the eye and say that you're perfect and that you've never made a mistake in your life, that you wish that maybe they had done a little bit differently, I'm sorry, I'm calling you out though. You might be lying to me. Only Jesus is perfect, and I'll gladly say that on here. So,
Yeah.
but it's
Yeah.
just I don't think the disappointment does anything for the parent. It doesn't do anything for the individual. It doesn't do anything for the child.
No.
All it does is it has a very bad connotation and negative meaning behind it that I just don't feel right with.
No. And it puts a lot, of stress on a child, right? That word of disappointment can lead to things like stress and anxiety or depression. Can help kids to, or it can lead kids to be fearful of something, right? Or even like telling their parents anything, or like it's just bad.
It just gives us the ick factor.
It gives me the ick factor. And, one of the things about it is that when you're trying to build, and this is what we talk about emotional stability. We talk about healthy relationships, healthy connections, open conversations, talking about everything, right? And when you are talking about something with such negative connotation, what you're doing is you're not helping to build that relationship where you're without shame. You're trying to build a relationship that is nurtured and coveted with your children. And if you're talking about it with such something that is so demoralizing as that disappointment, then you're just tearing down that relationship that you're hoping to build. And to me, I was always like, there's got to be a better way to make this feel more secure. And I wanted to give you and Tabby the ability to self-evaluate, self-regulate. And the only way to do that in my eyes was to build the healthy relationship. And if I was telling you I was disappointed in you, it didn't feel good. It just wouldn't have felt good to me. I don't know. Call me crazy.
And that's the thing. I'm not gonna lie. Maybe we are crazy. Maybe disappointment is a good word, but I just don't personally agree with it.
Yeah.
And maybe maybe we as individuals. I'm not. You guys are allowed to have your own opinions. All the things that we say aren't to try to make you guys mad with or tell you guys that you're parenting wrong or whatever it might be. That's not at all what we're trying to do. And I just kind of
No.
want to throw that in there. We're not trying
Yeah.
to tell you guys that you're wrong for it. If that's what you believe, that's what you believe. And there's
Yeah.
nothing wrong with that. Personally, in our family, though, this is
It just
just
made me feel icky. Yeah.
this is just what an experience that we've had, something that we've dealt with, and things that I've heard from my friends. And when they tell me, yeah, my parents told me that they were disappointed in me, I was just went, how? Like,
Aw.
I'm like, I just don't get it. Like, I don't think they understand that. And personally, it's just not a word that I want to use with my future family.
Yeah.
And like my girlfriend will say, "Oh, I'm disappointed." I'm like, "Why? Like, let's talk about this. Why? What does this do for you? Like, are you genuinely disappointed in yourself, or are you just upset? Do you just wish you made a different choice? Do you just wish that you did better on something? Like, again, I think that that verbiage is very important, especially with young-minded people.
Yeah.
Especially when you're trying to help shape an individual to
Yeah.
become a respected, a
Emotionally healthy, stable
emotionally
person.
healthy, stable person. I think sometimes the worst that you can do for a child is give them these words and tell them these words that are just
Yeah.
mentally degrading and physically, just
Yeah.
very degrading
Yeah.
that
Yeah.
don't help
And
them.
I think the thing about, I mean, like I said, that is just my interpretation of it.
Right.
And so it just never felt like something that I wanted to put into our universe as a parent. And so, maybe other people have a different perspective on it. Maybe they don't see it the same way that I do. And maybe to them, it's not that big a deal. But it is important to recognize that words mean something to kids. And
If
just
that's what you guys
because,
take away from this,
yeah, it's that words mean something to kids. And so maybe you're not thinking of it that way, but maybe your child needs an explanation of what you do mean when you say that.
yeah,
So that they can say, okay, you're not you're not going to not love me because of this, but this is what you're meaning behind it instead. And I think that that's another way to confront that term. And I think that's with anything, really, any kind of term you're going to use with your kid, just give it a meaning. Just kids want consistency and they want, they have expectation. So
They want
all those things.
explanations.
Yeah. And so if you're going to say, I'm disappointed in you, but it means exactly what it means every single time, then at least they know what to expect. And that's
Yeah.
okay. You know
You
what I
know,
mean?
this might be a little bit off topic, but that just kind of got me thinking about something. Like in movies all the time, I'll always see a parent or a kid will be like, "Can I go do this?" or "Can I go to this party?" or "Can I do this?" And the answer is automatically no.
Yeah.
And I think that with this, like when it comes to chat, like children and just having an explanation, and you know how, like, in all the movies, they storm off mad and frustrated and like, "Oh, they hate me and they want the worst for
Yeah.
me." And a lot of it is, and maybe I read this somewhere or saw it somewhere, but it's not that they want the worst for you. It's just that either they know something that you don't know, or if you would just explain it to them, maybe they wouldn't be so mad about it or
Yeah.
frustrated or hurt by it because I don't know. For me, like, if you ever told me no, it's like, okay, maybe it's upset, but can you just explain to me why I can't do
Why are
that?
you saying no to
Like,
me?
yeah, why are you telling me that this is a bad idea? Why are you telling me that I can't go
Yeah.
do this?
I think what I used to do, and that's really good, is that when you would say something, I would kind of give you like real life examples of why I didn't think that was a good choice for you to make.
Yeah.
Ultimately, it was always your choice to make.
That
Why?
was what I've learned.
And so that was one of the things that we did in anything was to give you, I did anyway, was to give you a real world example of why this choice probably is the best choice to make. And yes,
I
that's a
think
little
that
bit
that's
off
how
topic.
yeah, it is a little off topic, but I just started thinking about it because you were saying that they need explanation. So
Yeah,
I
but
apologize,
it is
but
true. Like words mean something. Words genuinely mean something. And we want to guide. And I always say this, I always correct myself when we talk in past episodes. I said teach you, whereas really it's guide. Like I
yeah,
want to guide you. I wanted to guide you through this life. And I'm still guiding you through this life rather than teaching, because I think teaching is something that we did with you when you were young, babyish,
yeah,
baby age. But then as your life has gone on, I guide you. And I can't guide you if I've used words that are harmful. I can't guide you if you don't trust me to make those good decisions or to lead you in the right direction. And so words to me like disappointment was always one of those words that wasn't going to lead you in the right direction. It was going
right.
to veer you off to the other side. So words are important.
And that concept is why Chris's anchor force would have been so smart.
Yeah, well, a little too late, but that's okay. We still appreciate him. So I think it's the listeners like that are, that have some kind of what do you call it, investment in our podcast that make me feel appreciated. So thanks. Anything else you want to
And
add to this conversation?
no, I don't. I mean, I feel like we have hit it. I don't really want to circle back to things we've
Right.
already talked about, so I
Yeah.
don't think so. Um,
Yeah.
ultimately, like I said, um, it's just one of those words that we don't use. It doesn't sit well with us, but
No.
if you are going to use it and you have noticed that your child maybe doesn't appreciate it, if that's something that you've already said to them, maybe just explain it, right?
Yeah.
I think that that alone can be a little bit beneficial. And I don't know. I don't want to tell people how to parent, so
No.
it's not my
Me neither.
place, but
I'm not going to tell anybody how to parent. I mean, I did
yeah,
what I thought worked for you guys. And I mean, I feel like I did a good
maybe it
job, and
did, maybe
that's
it didn't. I think you did great, but
thank you. Thank you.
then
So,
again, that's just me boasting and tooting my own horn. So,
so yeah. So I guess that's going to wrap it up for this episode. And like
episode?
episode. And I just want Noah to know how much I appreciate him and what we are building here at Gentle Anchor Podcast and how much I enjoy doing these episodes with you. And I think that the fun thing is that we each keep coming back to each other with, oh, I got this kind of feedback, or somebody was saying this, or, and to be able to, and like we said, we're not here for the views. I mean, you want to listen, you listen. We're not trying to make money off of this. We're just trying to put our words out there. And when people come back to us and say, hey, I really appreciated what you had to say in this episode, like, it's kind of nice to hear that. So, and I'm grateful to you, Noah, for spending some time with me to do this, because I know it's not always easy for you. So thank you, but I love you.
Mm, thank you. I love you too. Definitely, I definitely try, but it's I'm really busy.
I know. It's okay.
But
We'll just keep knocking them out. It's fine. It's all
exactly.
good. Yeah.
But yeah, thank you guys, all of our drift mates, for riding along on this wonderful, joyous ride of life with us.
Just close.
I'm looking.
Right,
All right.
because it's been 2 weeks, so you don't know what your closing is.
All right, I don't know what it is, but yes, my mom is my gentle anchor. Your gentle anchor can be anybody that is just willing to hear you when you need somebody to talk with. Thanks, guys. I don't know. Maybe that's
Good
it.
enough. Good enough. We'll fix it for next week. Yeah, we just appreciate you guys listening, and every voice needs a safe harbor. Until next time, stay anchored in connection. Thanks.